at
It's
anything
not
more than
supposed to be.
at anything more than point blank range.
Yeah, so it's an easy ship for a new captain to fly. So I imagine that a Dust Ninja and his piloting experience is taking on a difficult synergy ship to better facilitate the, uh, I guess, ability to win the match with a lower level captain. Seems like a very Dust Ninja style tactic.
Yep, I can agree with that. Now, a lot of people are proponents of the Metamidian, but I prefer a different type of Pyramidian. I prefer a Hades Artemis, where the Hades does a lot of burst damage and a lot of armor tear and applies fire stacks. It's a very multifaceted weapon. It doesn't do much to components, but that's not why it's there. It's there because it shoots giant flaming balls of death that very rapidly hurt the armor. And the Artemis is there because a lot of people, when they use the Metamidian, they pick things like a flat gun or a mortar because it does a lot of, permahull damage. But the problem is that that's the only thing it's good for. It does nothing else. But the Artemis, on the other hand, it does permahull damage, pretty good amount of it, and it's also good for taking out components like weapons and engines.
Yeah.
So the engineer doesn't just have to stand there and wait for their chance to shoot. They can just get on the gun and start shooting, and more than likely that's something important.
Okay, well, I gotta get to these loadouts here on these ships because shots are being fired. So, the red team, we got Dust Ninja ship, guns are banned with those long range things, and we got this Metamidian piloted by the inexperienced Captain Corpse Hatch. Supposedly it's supposed to be the easiest ships to fly, or one of the easiest. So, you can see the long range fires being underway, or, carried out. The last modula in the pack of red guys is, similar to Dust Ninja ship, but it features two guns of the short range style that should be easier for actually picking up kills if it needs to hold its own. On the blue team here, the SSSS Stutter seems to be brandishing, if I could get in closer, similar loadout. It's got a Mercury and Artemis on top, two of them, and two Banshees, it seems, on the lower deck for the engineers to run to. So they're doing a similar disabled build, but also seem to want to be able to hold their own. Probably a wise decision. So down to.
If been driving a car foregoing attacking the galleon, probably shouldn't have because they just took a heavy broadside and are being spun around by the air cannon.
No, it's the Minotaur.
Manticore.
No, Minotaur.
Minotaur, right.
So we got the squid. Squid here is running a carronade on the front. Typical front weapon for a squid. It's a lighter version of the heavy carronade with both balloon popping guns. So they're gonna try and run circles around their enemies, and pop their balloon. Many squid builds follow that tactic. Finally, we got the galleon on the blue team. This is, I was hoping they wouldn't change their ship. It seems they held it since the beginning of the lobby. It uses many of the heavy guns. In fact, it uses 4 of them, all different types. You got the left side here, you're running a lumberjack and a flak cannon. Flak cannon is for melting ships away whose armors have been stripped already, but not much use beyond that. Very deadly weapon. The lumberjack is one of the longest range weapons in the game, used for tearing balloons asunder, and it's got a steep arc, but if you can handle it, it's a very deadly weapon. The other side of the ship features a Minotaur, which shoots an invisible projectile, moves very slowly, but rotates the ship with massive force. And of course, we've seen from the other game, the Hwacha, Manticore Heavy Hwacha, fires a barrage of rockets that disable ships pretty hard. So.
And can do an amazing amount of damage to the permahull.
Yes, if the armor is stripped. So let's see formation these people have got into. Seems like these two mobulas are going at it. Actually, I don't see Dust do that too often. He's hightailing it back. On a Mobula, you got all your guns in the front. If you're gonna reverse,
I think it's because
throw it in
he has no balloon. His balloon's down.
still, I would imagine Dust would point his guns at him. I wonder what he's got in mind.
Oh no, this is a technique that Dust uses a lot. He'll hide behind mountains and just poke his head up and hit targets that of opportunity.
Yep.
Pioneered very frequently on the I believe it's the Red Sepulchre map.
Yeah, many times when you have a standoff, and usually with Mobulas.
And Squid out of nowhere, all of a sudden all over Dust.
Yep. There you go. Very drunk driving. Seems to actually be doing this. Well, was doing it masterfully. He seems to switch targets, and is now just fleeing. I guess he was making one pass. Probably safest for the Squid we saw last game with the Squid flown by Skylar John. Yeah, he got himself killed a couple times.
And then for driving a car, getting some hits in on the Koala. Kauai taking a lot of hull damage. It looks like they might lose it in the next verse if they don't take out the Pyramidion, whose balloon is taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, it seems they gotta back themselves up to get their guns within their arming time. Arming time is the time it takes before the projectile is effective against the target, meaning you have to put distance in order for the projectile to be alive for enough time. But it seems on their right side, they don't have that issue, so it seems they've oriented themselves appropriately and have turned the Pyramidion around via the Minotaur cannon.
Good thing about that gun.
That was a great tactic. You turn them ass first to you, and then blow their engines away. Then they can't rotate themselves.
But even what's great about the air cannon is that it also rips and tears armor, making it a perfect combination for the Manticore's rockets.
Yeah, you don't want to be on the right side of that thing. That'll stop you in your tracks. So.
And then in the distance, I can see some heavy action going down over there. Bearded Terror. Oh, they're gone.
Dust Ninja seems to be out of this fight for the time being. He's hiding, and I would say he's getting himself stationed for sniping, but the only thing he's geared to hit is I suppose Kauai Koala, which he seems to be just firing away. But yeah, oftentimes when you have long range versus long range, and usually with Mobulas, you get this war of attrition where you're poking your head out above a ridge.
It's all about finding the right position where you can deal the most damage and protect yourself from the most damage.
Yeah, leave it to Dust Ninja to find that the wisest choice, because most people in a game where you're, brawling, would forego the opportunity to reposition yourself when it takes so much time, even though it may be the wisest thing to do. So, I mean, he's not dead yet, and he's found a place where he can continue doing damage.
Infant driving a car, deciding he's like, I've had enough. I'm gonna call it back for now, find him, and enter in at a more advantageous time, but their engines are down.
Yeah, I imagine he was called back by his teammates who followed Dust. Dust is probably given all the orders. What's the blue team have in mind here? Seems like since they have the upper hand, they aren't taking the actions. It seems that to be the case in this game. You let the people that are struggling make the decisions, so you don't forego your own winning hand. That's what I like about this game, though. Your craftiness can always pay off. So it seems very drunk driving. The Squid is had about enough waiting. He's going to pounce on the Your Guns Are Banned, the Mobula, and Not a terrible decision, giving most of that ships, being the Mobula. Permahull's gone. In fact, one more hit should do it in. Oh, I'm mistaken. They have a few more hits in them. The balloon's being shredded by the front gun of the squid, and the squid is careful to keep himself just out of the gun arcs that might do him in. And flame on. Once that squid's behind your Mobula, you're in for some, yep, there he goes. Exactly what I'm talking about. So that frees up the squid to run its engines fast and get quickly into battle again to outnumber the enemy team. Bearded Terror is pummeling this flying fortress known as the Galleon, named Kawaii Koala.
Ooh, they're taking lots of damage, and he's just trying to get in close.
It looks like he doesn't have the health to do it, but if he can get in close and get at the right altitude to get his guns in arc, he could easily cripple the ship.
Very smart move by Bearded there to stay low, stay out of the arcs of the
lumberjack, of course.
The lumberjack, and keep your balloon safe, because if that's the problem with the lumberjack. There's almost no armor damage. It's almost all flechette.
Flechette being, of course, the shredding of balloons. Oh, there goes the Kawaii Claw.
And the Kawaii just couldn't stand up to the barrage. Bearded Terror moving in now. Infant driving a car, taking lots of damage.
Yeah, he's way over his head. See you later, Pyramidian. One more rocket. Oh, two more, I suppose. Let's see it.
They got their armor back up.
Maybe they want them
the engineering team is working overtime over there.
Yeah. They're tanking.
And he's just, oh wow, they have almost literally no health. Oh, and
Done.
That's the straw that broke the camel's back.
So the score's now 4-5. And it seems you got
Dust
a 2
back in the
here.
fight, deciding he's forgoing the wait and see. He wants some action now. Easy to see why. Stutter's armor's down, and they just can't keep it back up.
Unfortunately for the red team, though, they're very near the blue team's spawn. And Very Drunk Driving has spawned right in the edge of the action here. Dust Ninja is taking a ship straight to the SSSS Stutter.
He wants to just finish this now.
Or, sorry, SSSS.
Just using his patented lightest touch of hydrogen ever, and then using drogue shoots calmly, quietly to drift back down. But Very Drunk Driving just says, I'm gonna poke my head in real quick.
Yeah, the squid here has got both guns in arc. It's
and they just got tarred.
Yeah, that's patented Dust Ninja move. Although it's pretty obvious to do it. He does it best
Very
with the
Drunk
Mobula.
Driving has no components left. They are
in
the water.
The Very Drunk Driving pulled up at an angle to get both his front and side guns in arc at once, carronating the balloon and flaming the back
And there
components.
goes Stutter. That's a good move, a very strong move for a squid. But unfortunately,
yeah, the squids are balanced.
when you're right behind an enemy Mobula, a Mobula's bread and butter defense should be Centaur.
Yeah, the squids are balanced to have 3 guns, so if you can get 2/3 of your guns in arc, you can bet you have some kind of advantage. So it seems this is broken off into a man-to-man.
But unfortunately, they picked the wrong ship to just go straight at. Bearded Terror has lots of close-range defenses. But it looks like they were able to get Bearded Terror's balloon down fast enough that they can't really keep their guns in arc. There's just so many carronade shots. Oh, Very Drunk Driving, just taking a big pounding now.
And blue team pulled it out.
Yep. A good game.
Oh,
A good showing from both sides, but blue team takes it home with
Those are
3
the,
points ahead.
those are the 2 randomized games. It seems that we're up to the 3rd match, which is the height of the Chaos Skirmish, where it's the themed match. So we're gonna see what the unveiling is.
Supposedly, no one knows